guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I will be showing a quick and easy makeup tutorial that you can transition from the daytime into the nighttime. In the first part of the video I'll be showing the daytime makeup look, and in the second part I'll be showing all the changes that I have done to make it into a nighttime makeup look. Stay tuned for how it turns out. I'm using the Dior BackStage foundation. I really love this foundation. It is a light and sheer coverage foundation. I'm using a sheer coverage foundation because it gives a very dewy look during the daytime. And the Dior foundation especially has a very nice dewy finish, and that is why I really enjoy using it. But I'm using a generous amount because I have to ensure that the makeup stays in place for the entire day so that I don't have to touch up my base for the night. So I'm using a damp beauty blender to blend out the foundation. Please bear in mind that this is a buildable foundation, so at the very beginning apply only a little, and if you need you can apply it again. Dab it into your face gently. Make sure you get into the corners and bring it down on your neck. Bear in mind that this is a sheer coverage foundation, but you can build it up by applying more, as I am doing here. Depends on your requirement. If you do not want to use a foundation, you can use a BB cream instead. But make sure that you prep your face before you do this. I have already applied sunscreen before I'm applying the foundation. For a daytime look, it is essential that you do not miss your SPF. Up next, I'm using one of my favorite concealer. It is the Tarte Cosmetics Shape Tape Concealer. It is a heavy duty concealer, meaning it has high coverage. So I'm using it under my eyes and in one or two dark spots that I have. This too is a buildable concealer, so apply little at beginning and then you can reapply if you need to get more coverage. Here also I'm using the same damp beauty blender to blend it in. You can use a makeup brush if you're more comfortable with that. I feel that the beauty blender gives a more sheared look and it blends very well. The next step is very important. I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. It's one of my favorite setting powders. It has a great texture. It is very fine and does not settle into the fine lines. And I'm using a tapered brush. This brush comes from a set in Amazon, which I will link below. And I'm using this product to set my under eyes and all the places where I get a little bit of oiliness or I have a little bit of pores. The powder is excellent for setting the foundation and the concealer, and so that it does not crease, and it also gives a very smooth finish by minimizing the look of the pores and all sorts of textures on the face. This is an essential step. Please do not miss it out. Always opt for a translucent setting powder as it can be used at all times, and if possible you can carry it as well to touch up your face to remove any sort of oiliness throughout the day. Next, I will be using my favorite product, the MAC Strobe Cream, to add a little bit of glow. I'm taking a little bit of the product on my finger and dabbing it on the high points of my cheek. For the daytime, I'm not opting for a powder highlighter. Instead, this MAC Strobe Cream will give a highlighted finish as well as a dewy look. Next, I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic blush in the shade Pillow Talk. I will be using the shade on the outer ring. With a soft fluffy brush, I will be using the shade on the outer ring on the lid of my eye. I prefer to do this because I feel that it gives the eye some definition and a lift. Up next, I'm using the Color Bar Kohl pencil. It is black glittery kohl pencil. You can choose any kohl pencil of your choice. I find that black is the most versatile shade. I'm drawing it along my eyelash line, very close to my eyelash line, making a very thin line. This will help to accentuate the shape of your eyes. Be very careful when you're doing it because you don't want a very thick line. Or if you're used to wearing kohl pencil that is very thick, then you can also do that. But I prefer a thin line for the daytime. I'm also tightlining my waterline on my lower lash. Next, I'm using a Maybelline Hyper Curl Mascara on my eyes. I'm just using it lightly on the tip of my eyelashes to give it a fluttery effect. Make sure you also apply it on your lower lash line. Then I'm going to my blush Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk shade and gently dabbing a little bit of the product on my cheek. I'm using a stippling brush for this because I don't want a lot of product. Then I'm using the L'Oreal Rouge Signature in the shade I Choose. I find this to be a very wearable pink color for the daytime. It is a very good nude pink shade for brown skin tones. You can even use your tip of your finger and blend it out to give it a stain-like finish. And to set it, I'm using a facial tonic mist from Forest Essential. I like using it because it's very hydrating, and that is very much required for a summertime daytime look. And that is the completed daytime look. I've removed my nude pink lipstick and I'm going to show you how to transition this look into the nighttime look. I'm using the same blush that I've used before, but I'm using that little ring shade in the middle, as it is a lighter shade and can be used as a powder highlighter. Powder highlighter, as I mentioned before, gives a more highlighted, stark, glowy finish, so that is more appropriate for the nighttime look. I'm applying it to my brow bone, to all the high points of my face, on my cupid's brow and a little bit on my forehead to give it that shine. Now I'm going back with my kohl pencil, which is the Color Bar Ultime kohl pencil. It is a sparkly black kohl pencil, so it will be very good for doing a smoky sort of eye. So I'm going to thicken the eyeliner line which I already had on both my eyes. You don't have to be too careful with this because we are going to use a tapered angled brush to smoothen it out. So you just need to thicken the line to your requirement. I'm going to go to about half of my lid. Then I'm using an angled brush which is used for making a cat eye and blending it out to give it a sort of smoky effect. And I'm going to extend it a little bit outside of my lash line to give it a cat eye effect. You can opt out of it. You can do your own thing with this while you're blending it. You can keep it within your eyelash. You can cover your entire eyelid. That is entirely up to you. I prefer a cat eye. I think a cat eye really accentuates and lifts up the eyes and the face, and it is a very appropriate nighttime look. Go back in with more of the kajal or the kohl if you feel that the pigmentation is not very intense. The intensity of the pigmentation is completely up to you. I'm also reapplying and thickening the kohl pencil on my waterline, lower lash line. Then I'm going back to my Hyper Curl mascara from Maybelline and applying generous coats of this on the eyelashes. Make sure this time to go in really close to your eyelash line and apply 2 or 3 coats to give a lifted lash look. You can also apply false lashes if you wish to. For the lips, I'm using the Estee Lauder Love Lipstick in the shade Bar Red. A red lip is absolutely important for a nighttime look. It is one of my favorite red lipstick shades and I think it suits all skin tones very well. It is a deep bluish red, almost a true red. Be careful when you are using a red lipstick because it is very easy for it to go outside of your lip line. If you have the time, you can also use a lip liner. But to correct any sort of mistakes that you have made with your red lipstick, use a Q-tip and use the pointed end to blend it out and remove any imperfections. If you're using a red lipstick, it is always recommended that you set the corners of your lips and your lip outline with the powder or a concealer. I'm using my translucent powder here to set the corners of my lip. You can leave the look here, but I'm going a little bit extra and adding a MAC Dazzle liquid lip gloss here. It's a sort of a lip gloss. You can opt for any other lip gloss, but make sure that it is clear so that it does not cover up your red lipstick color. And of course, don't forget to spray some of your favorite perfume. That's it for the nighttime look. I hope you enjoyed it.